Fire Radio.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the National Fire Radio podcast today. I mean, we've already been going, already having laughs. This is going to be a loaded conversation. Mike Greco, career fireman out of Hackensack, New Jersey. He's also the departmental chief of the Hasbrouck Heights Fire Department on the volunteer side. He is a instructor with Eckerd Fire Tactics. He's local to me. We don't get to go to fires together, but he's only 15, 20 minutes down the road. I'm hoping for the one day we do get to work the same fireground together. That'd be a lot of fun. Mike, welcome to the show, man. It's been a long time coming.
I'm happy to be here. Thank you for inviting me, man. Very cool.
You know, there's some guys that stand out, and you're one of them, and I want to explain why. You are fiercely loyal to your friends, to the departments that you represent, and more importantly, the job. I know how much you love it. The passion you have for it shines through. I've watched you teach many different evolutions during different taking it to the street segments with Bobby and your team there, Eckerd Fire Tactics. I've watched you. I watch you work with young kids. I watch you work and relate with old guys. And I think that's what's really interesting. And I asked you before we started recording how old you were. And you said you're 39 years old. And it has everything to do with your upbringing, but also understanding the importance of protecting the job, the tradition and culture that goes with that, the integrity of it, but also being able to relate to the kids today. You do that very well, and you do it with absolute conviction and passion, brother. And I thank you for that.
Thank you.
That is one thing that I've noticed about you from the day.
Thank you very much. It's so funny that you say that, man, because there is a comedy series, and some people will know what I'm talking about. It's called Elder Millennial, and it's this woman by Eliza Schlesinger is her name. And she does a whole comedy skit of being an older millennial. So that's me. So I'm able to relate to the guys that are 18 to 30, and I can relate to the guys that I was a little kid with, and they're in their 50s and 60s now. So I'm kind of right in the middle. You know what I mean? And the two generations are really not that different, even though they think they are. But
I couldn't agree with you more. I'm right there with you, and that's why I do what I do. I mean, this is a fun conversation for me because it's so important to protect everything that we knew growing up. You know, teardrop lights, power calls. You know, slapping the light on the roof, the volunteer fire siren or horns blowing in town, our fathers running out the door. There's so much there, bro, that, like, I just can't get enough of.
I remember every single detail of it. I don't know why. My dad thinks I'm nuts. I am telling you every single detail, down to what he was wearing running out the door for a fire, coming home smelling like Budweiser and shit. It was great. I remember the whole thing. It was wonderful.
And those are the memories that I have. I have so many of those cherished memories, and I think that's why, too, just like yourself, I mean, shit, you're drinking out of a ceramic mug right now. It's just hilarious to me. You know? There's just so much there.
That's what I stole that from him.
Bro, I mean, there's a box of ceramic mugs at the firehouse that they were going to get rid of from, like, all different mutual aid wet downs and things. And I'm like, save them. I want them. Like, just,
I have
they're
them
like, what are you going to do with
upstairs.
them? I'm like, I'll load the attic with them. I don't know.
Yeah.
I want them.
I drink all my coffee out of them every day. They're nice and big, whatever. I drink my coffee out of them. And I got a box 54 one I haven't used yet. I got them upstairs back in the day.
Frozen Twinkies and
frozen Twinkies
chicken noodle soup.
Oh, yeah, and smiles, man. No problem. Yeah.
I love it, man. This is the conversation that I've needed. I needed this conversation with you for quite a while.
Yeah.
Not that any of the other podcasts I do, they're a lot more serious. We dive into topics and issues, but to go down memory lane and just enjoy nostalgia for a few minutes, both of us being North Jersey guys and just loving the volunteer fire service like we do. And you turned it into a career. I went a different path, but all of that is packaged up from our upbringing within this incredible institution that we both love.
That's right.
I love it. I love
Absolutely.
it. So where do you want to take this? Your father was big shoes to fill. Tony Greco. I mean, this is a guy that was a dispatcher for the city of Hackensack. His voice is known over the radios. He probably has taken more photos for fire engineering and other trade publications. He's an official fire buff, fire photographer, right? An ex-chief of your hometown department. You were just telling me the similarities.
Wow.
Bro, break it all down for me, man. I want to hear
dude,
about this.
I could start at 4 years old if you want and go all the way up. It's fucking crazy. But
give me the highlights, the cliff
He
notes.
started from what I can remember, he started Clemco GTI out of Newark. It was a T-shirt / buff video company. He did the buff videos. Tom Clemente and Chris Clemente.
Whoa! That was him?
Yeah. You ever hear Clemco GTI presents Volume 21, Working Fire at Newark Engine 18. Yeah, that's my dad. Yeah, that's all my dad's stuff. So but I would go with him though. Like he'd be like, Mike, they got a Signal 11 in Newark. We'll take a ride. I'm like, yeah, we'll take a ride. Yeah, let's go.
I am having memory flashbacks like you wouldn't believe right now.
So it was awesome.
What, does he still have like the whole library? Does he have?
Yeah. It's a white box set of VHSs. If you go on YouTube, he has a YouTube channel and he uploads all the 80s and 90s shit to the YouTube channel.
That's cool.
Yeah, so he did that, and then they did the Tom and Chris did the T-shirt end. Chris died, unfortunately. And then Rocky from Rescue 2, he was in Rescue 2 at the time. He also did T-shirts and helped my father with the buff videos too. So there would be a job someplace. One job in particular was in Passaic, New Jersey. I was a little kid, 5 years old, something like that. When we go, and we're on a roof of the exposure across the street, actually. And this place is just getting it. It's out the first floor, second floor windows. I'm 5 years old. I'm like, this is, oh, man, 5, you know? And my father, with his big mustache at the time, he goes, you don't tell your mother that you're here. So with that, Channel 7 News comes up on the roof with us and pans over and sees my little body on the roof. And my mother was furious when we got home. But it was worth every bit of it because I remember it. It stunk like smoke. It was great. Yeah.
Those memories, man. I mean, but to expose you like that, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing. It's like to be able to grow up that way, you have such a profound appreciation for those memories now more than ever, right?
Absolutely, man.
Did you take it for granted when you were younger, though? Like,
no.
You were Tony's kid, like, you know?
No, not at all, man. Okay. Every single second of it, I was just like, my friends were watching the New York Giants, and I didn't give a shit. I was watching the Hasbrouck Heights Fire Department go to fires. I was watching 68 Seagrave banging through the gears and shit. That was my New York Giants, bro. I don't care. You know, guys are like, that's not normal. It's normal to me. It was awesome. I remember every single detail of everything with Hasbrouck Heights Fire Department, and actually Hackensack too, because I would buff Hackensack when I was a kid. I would ride there on my bicycle. My parents would yell at me not to ride there on my bicycle. It's a different city back in those days, but you know, I loved it.
Growing up where you did, I mean, it's the ideal spot to go buff like 3 or 4 different counties. You can be anywhere in 10 minutes, right? It's a good spot. And now you find yourself the chief of the department today. Yeah,
it's crazy, man. Time flies, you know. But it's history repeating itself. You know, I grew up, my brother and my sister, there's 3 of us. Now I have 3 kids, chief of the same fire department. It's the same exact thing is going on. You know, my father loves it.
How much pride do you carry along? Like the day you got sworn in as a departmental chief, that had to be a very proud moment for you.
It was proud, and you know, my father was proud, but I didn't really feel like it was real. You know what I mean? Like, it's not real until you get in that car and you're going to a job. You know, it isn't. You know, anybody could go to department meetings and drills and all of that. Until you get in the car and you're going to a fire, it's not real. You know, and you got to make some decisions. You know, but and my father told me that. He goes, you better know what you're doing, because you better know what you're doing. It's gonna get very real really fast. And being the incident commander on the volunteer side is extremely difficult because you don't know who's coming, you don't know the skill level.
Yeah.
You don't know how many guys are coming, the mutual aid that's coming. Everything's a question. There's all question marks all the way down the box. So it's a little bit more difficult. I think it's a little more difficult now than when my father was chief, and I think that he would agree too. You know, everybody's working 2 jobs now, 3 jobs. Everybody's got kids. The economy's a lot different. So it's a little bit, the volley side is a little bit harder now, I think. But I got a great group of guys. These guys are savages on my fire department. I love them. I love every one of them.
We're gonna get there
because
I know how highly you speak of them. But I just want to circle back. I agree with you in when you talk about, you know, municipal volunteer fire chiefs and what they bring to the table and the amount of knowledge they have to have and the ability to deal with calling audibles or having things thrown at them.
Yeah.
It is a dynamic and fluid time to be a fire chief, especially in a volunteer organization.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
just knowing resources, staffing, building, like how well and how intimate you know your first due, right? And knowing the different things, and then knowing, I mean, it's just all of it. And when you put that all together, there's nothing else like it.
No, especially this district here, Hasbrouck Heights. People don't realize it. We covered the borough of Hasbrouck Heights, Route 17, Route 46, part of Route 80, all of Teterboro we cover, all of Teterboro Airport we go to, which is Port Authority property. And if anybody's ever driven through Teterboro, it's a unique place all in and of itself.
Sure.
We had T-shirts few years ago. It said planes, trains, and automobiles above the fucking patch, because we were doing everything. And we used to do pin jobs once a week, easily once a week, a pin job, a good one too. Now we're doing more fires than we did pins. Yeah. So it's wild. I'll get into the new apparatus that we purchased and all this other stuff, but
But for you to come up through the ranks, right? I mean, you have this incredible foundation from which you came.
Right.
You're super protective of the fire department that you come up through.
Right.
You are changing the game in some ways, though, because of your all-in attitude, right? Mm-hmm. And so it's infectious. Talk to me about the makeup of the department today, where you're the chief, and what's happening, because I know you're super passionate about the guys that you have working for you.
I love the place. So what happened was in 2018, we changed the entire fire department. We had Engine 1, Engine 2, Ladder 1. They were all companies, separate companies, but within one big firehouse, which makes absolutely anyone listening to this that does that stupid shit, it makes no sense whatsoever. So we got rid of the companies. We have one fire department. So the first, it's basically SOP driven. First four guys, 5 guys max get on the first due engine. Next 4 or 5 guys get on the first due truck, second due engine, rescue, and so on and so forth. So we did a lot of changes for the better. We did a whole brand new SOP book. I have a lot of help too. It's not all me. I have a lot of really good help. I have a really good young guys that are just savages with stretching lines. Then I have a couple of middle guys that are good at that, and also good apparatus operators. I got a lot of help. I have older guys like my father, and I have the senior guys. So I have a well-rounded place. And what I find is, if you got a problem or if you need help, ask for it, because somebody in the room knows what to do, guaranteed. So it's like, just because you're the chief don't mean shit. Ask somebody.
Do you find, though, that your excitement and your passion that you have for it fuels them to want to do more?
Yes.
You're bringing some of the old guys that maybe have drifted away or starting to come back?
Yes.
Talk to me about that.
Because what goes on now is, so and guys break my chops all the time, and I really don't give a shit. So we call Signal 1030. In the 80s, when my father was like young guy and everything, Signal 1030 meant a working fire. It meant that in Woodridge, and it meant that in Hasbrouck Heights. Signal 1030 started in the 1970s in the FDNY. Before it was 1075, it was 1030. People don't realize that. And that's how it came to South Bergen. They got rid of it when we got rid of 10 codes, which I think was a horrible idea, getting rid of 10 codes. And anybody listening to this, I know what your opinion is. I don't care what your opinion is. Because when you say I'm on the Charlie side of Division 4 Sector Division, I have no idea what you're talking about. That's not plain English to me. We change over to plain English. It's not plain English. So we went over to Signal 1030. So when I say 1030 over the radio, every senior guy, an immediate grin comes on their face, because it just brings them back to the 80s. And every young guy has a grin on their face, because they know they're going to go do something cool, whether it be a fire or whatever. So we're a busy fire department. And for instance, Christmas Eve, right? We started a 1030 program. Anything that we believe is going to be an all hands assignment is now a 1030. Christmas Eve, pager goes off. I have it low. My kids are opening gifts, blah, blah. We're having a nice time. Then the pager goes off again. Signal 1030 for the address, 777 Terrace, blah, 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 blah. Oh, fuck, I got to go. And it's a fire. But so guys that are, I don't want to say blow off the call, but guys that are, even I have guys that are at work, their jobs have told them, if you hear 1030 go over that pager, leave, because then it's serious. And we all know about, fire alarms and all of this stuff, which is, you can handle with a single engine sometimes. And in the Volley House, guys are at work. Again, they have 2 jobs, kids, this, that. somebody bangs out the 10:30, I'm calling my mom to come over here and watch the kids, and I'm going. That's it. And that's how we're getting guys out quick, because they know if they hear me on the radio and call for that, they know it's legit. They're not good. It's not your average fire alarm or whatever it may be. So that's the problem. A lot of times people take the police department's word for it. They'll say the police department is on scene. No, you take the fire department's word for it. Whoever's first due, they'll call 10:30. If they call that, mutual aid hears it too. Everybody hears buffs. So Woodridge is listening to the radio. Lodi is listening to the radio. Moonachie, South Hackensack's on a work of fire assignment. They're listening. Oh shit, they got a 10:30. Let's get to our firehouse and get ready to go. So when we get a fire here, you got rigs coming in every which direction instantaneously, which is what I was shooting for.
Yeah, and it makes sense. And I people can argue 10 codes all you want. I don't care.
I don't care either.
This is our conversation. So we can talk about it the way we want. And there is something to that for sure. And to back it up, in the volunteer suburban area, it's typically the police are often on scene before fire. Yeah. We had a basement fire the other night, and the cops called out with nothing showing. The vice fire department, nothing showing, and our chief pulls up 2 minutes later, and we got smoke from the rear of the house. Right? Like,
sure.
And it's a different animal, right? It's a different game.
Sure.
And the other thing too is when you become heavily dependent upon your additional resources, right, coming in from other jurisdictions, like we do here so often, right? It's to get everybody on that same page so that you get them from the get matters.
Yeah. We have a great relationship with the Woodridge Fire Department. We do. The rigs are set up the same. Tenement loads we have off the rear. Everything is pretty much the same. They have a heavy rescue. We put our rescue into reserve. We now run a squad company, which is that word's a whole nother argument in and of itself, but we'll get into that later. But they run the heavy rescue. We have the squad. Between the two fire departments, we call each other for one and one. They get a fire, we're coming with an engine and truck. We get a fire, they're coming with an engine and truck. I would say 80% of the time, whatever we got going on, it's handled by those companies. We get a fast company out of Carlstadt, and that's the end of it. We work really well.
How did you get two different departments from two different municipalities, two different administrations to get on the same page like that?
We just tell them we're going to fires. We're not delivering ice, as Bobby Eckert would say. We need help, and we need it right away. Right? If you look around all these neighborhoods down here in South Bergen, it's literally turned into the parking lot for New York City. There is people everywhere. So now the new issue that I'm having, and I've noticed it over the last year, is when we hit rush hour here, 5, 6 o'clock at night, you get a reported fire, it is impossible to get to the firehouse to get the rigs out. There's guys fighting through traffic. So it's like you got to start mutual aid out fast. I had a fifth alarm, whatever it was, 2 weeks ago. I got to start these guys out fast. These guys are coming from home, number one, and then we have the boulevard is one of our main thoroughfares. They hit the boulevard, and they're in traffic. No one cares about the blue lights anymore. You might as well turn them off.
Yeah,
you might as well turn them off. I don't care what these guys have. I feel bad for them, and they're fighting through traffic. Pissing people off. The people call the police station. Oh, some guy's driving erratically. We're trying to go to fires. So you have that issue. So we went to, both towns. We're like, listen, this is what we got to do. We're not merging departments at all. But when we get a fire, we're going to call for help. Woodridge has the Avalon complex. It's literally a town within a town.
Right.
100% lightweight wood frame.
You guys just had a fire there the other night.
Just had a fire there that night. Yep.
Yeah.
They do 2 to 3 fires in there a year. You'd be surprised, Woodridge. Woodridge gets a decent amount of work for being a small town. And, they're busy. And, again, the Avalon complex is a town within the town. It's huge. It's all lightweight wood frame.
I'm watching you guys, Chief. I'm watching you guys put hose in the street more than ever before.
We do it on regular runs.
That's new to you guys.
Right, regular runs. Yeah,
newer.
When I got in as chief, I asked the guys what they thought about it. I said, listen, man, when we pull up, I want the engine and pump. If it's anything, food on the stove, if you see a wisp of smoke come out of a mouse hole, we're starting a line. Start a line on every run. I want the engines and pump. I want the jacks set minimal on the truck on every run. I don't care what's going on. And we've pulled up to what we think is a BS run, and they already got a line stretch, and it's no big deal, and it's training for the guys, and like Bobby Ecker teaches, beat the parking lot, right? Well, exactly that. We pull up, and I got young guys, 18, 19, 20 years old, and here comes the tenement load off the back of the rig. We have a strip mall in Teterboro. It's called Teterboro Landing, and we got to activate a fire alarm and a smash burger. Here comes a tenement load off the rig. They're stretching down the sidewalk, kicking the picnic tables off the sidewalk, and they're stretching. They don't give a shit. Fire alarm. They open the front door. The place is filled with smoke. Actually, a small fire in the grease area, a grease trap rather. So they got a line with them. They're ready to go. Sticks going to the roof. It's all happening. But the guys love it. They love it. They want to be firemen. Guys are going on the fire alarm because they want to be firemen. They're not going to take a ride. So let them be firemen. Why are we in such a hurry to go home? What is the problem? And you see that's the culture that I grew up on. Certain people, not that they were bad people. They're all good chiefs I grew up on, but they were in such a hurry to cancel the engine out or listen to the PD end of it or whatever. No, everything that we go to is a working fire until I say it's not. That's how we're going to do this game. So if I don't say it's not a fire, start a line, get the stick to the roof. And other times we'll pretend it's a fire, even if it's not. So we have a bunch of tenements in Hasbrouck Heights up and down Terrace Avenue here. H-type multiple dwellings, everything. We pulled up at one. You know what? I know it's a trouble alarm. It's not even a fire alarm. Start a line to the front door. Let's just go through it. Start a line front door, engine 2, suction to hydrant. When I say suction to hydrant, I mean water through the fucking hose into the engine. Let's go. And then I'll go through the entire motions with the guys over the radio like a drill, conduct a par, do the entire thing. And they go back to the firehouse. We'll back the rigs in, and we have a little critique of it. Every fire we go to, we back the rigs in, and we have a critique of it. No fighting, no bullshit. I don't like guys having a critique. We used to do it where we have a fire, right? Then we have a critique 3 or 4 days or whatever the next monthly meeting was. Right. No, I ended that. Because it'll give guys time to go home and marinate something in their brain, talk shit, right? Then out on the phone, negative. Come back to the fire. Everybody comes to the back of the firehouse. We're gonna go around. I go last, right? Go around the room. I don't care if you're a junior firefighter. I don't care who you are. Well, you got 50 years. I don't go around the room. Everybody's thoughts. What went right? What went wrong? Where did I go wrong at a command post? Whatever. And we do it, and it solves a lot. It stops a lot of the bullshit. You'd be surprised,
Listen, there's departments that don't allow the bullshit to fester because they hit it face on, and a good shop does not allow for it. And shitbags they don't get any foothold in good departments.
No, you see them, and I don't. I've had guys leave. I've had guys, I've actually had one guy in particular come up to me and tell me, listen, I love what you're doing. It's just I can't keep up with it right now. I'm getting old and this and that. And I said, bro, I completely respect it, but I respect it a lot because you see I'm trying to make a change here.
Yeah.
I want this place to be a fire department. And a lot of the younger guys, and I'm sure they're gonna watch this and they're all gonna be happy. But my younger guys are animals. It is wild.
It's because you allow them to be so.
I let them go. You got to give everybody a job. So, all right, if I pull up and I'm command and, engine 2 pulls up, we had 600 series numbers. We got rid of that too. That was another change that we made. So engine 2 used to be called 616. We don't have 616 engines in the borough of Hasbrouck Heights. So we went to engine 2. So engine 2, It's the truth though,
I love it.
So engine 2 will pull up, so it'll be the lieutenant, and it might be a junior lieutenant. Engine 2, we got a activated fire alarm to tell me on the second floor or whatever, and the police department will be coming out and trying to tell me something. I don't really care. We're the fire department. We're here to do our business. It's not a burglar alarm. So the fire department will go in. The lieutenant will say, "Yeah, you know what? We got food on the stove. This is what we're going to start a line on the second floor. Give me blah blah blah," and I'll let him go. I'm not going to stop him. Do what you got to do because I want you to do that when I'm not here. That's what counts. If I'm not here, you need to know what you're doing. I can't be the babysitter. So they are trained to a point now where when I'm not there, I'm at work and I'm listening to the scanner, and they're just doing the same thing. No big deal. They had a car through a house last night with a pin. No big deal. It's busier than it's ever been up there. And
has it? I mean, under your tutelage and obviously the hard work of everybody that surrounds you, you are bringing a new level to that department. I think.
You know what? We all are. We all. It's all of us, because my younger guys, and and again, I tell you about that generational thing.
Mm-hmm.
I loved partying in the firehouse when I was a kid. Loved it. We would get smashed drunk and go to fires. I admit it. It is what it is. So did my dad's generation. The guys now, they don't party as much. Surprisingly so, they don't party as much. Older guys look at them like, oh, what's wrong with these guys, this and that. But when we get a fire, these guys are on the rig, ready to go, 110%. Every stitch of gear on, like 10 to 9's ready to go. We get into this fire I went to a couple weeks ago that it'll blow your mind who put the fire out. And it's just, and that's what I want. So whatever, and whoever listens to this, whatever your younger guys want, just give it to them. Holy shit. So the younger guys in my firehouse, we have a beautiful fire room. I'm sure every volley house does, right? A beautiful hall, whatever you want to call the fucking thing. The guy said, you know what? We want to get a ratty old couch out of the garbage, and we want to get a flat screen TV, and we want to put it behind the ladder truck on the apparatus floor. Go ahead, bro. Go get it. Go get it. Go get it. I'll help you get it now. Let's go get it. Let's go get a fucking couch out of the garbage. Put it here. Is that going to make you guys happy? Yeah. We sit here. We're going to watch TV. And if a run comes in, we're going to get on the rig. Sounds good to me. Whereas you have other chiefs or we're not doing that. That's not what this is. Just let them do it. Whatever's going to keep the guys in the firehouse and keep them happy, let them do it. It's not a big deal.
We got to double down on our people. The go-getters, the A-listers, we got to double down on them and don't hold them back.
Yeah. You know what? Because I was that kid.
Yes.
I was that kid at 18 years old. I lived in that firehouse, and I hated certain guys that were breaking balls about stupid stuff. I couldn't stand it. I just wanted to be a fireman. So let these kids be firemen.
But you fuel that culture, man. Like, that's the thing. It's like you've created this environment that only wants the best. It fuels it.
Right.
And I love that. But not only that, it means the job is going to be done the way it needs to get done.
Right.
Like, you have guys that are so passionate and committed now because they love the game.
Right. They want to be in the game.
They're all in.
They want to be part of it. I got guys joining like crazy, and we have a membership committee, and the membership committee is legit. My assistant chief, Miguel Gonzalez, this kid will tell you. You sit down in the membership committee. He has a very heavy Dominican accent, and I love it. It's awesome. It's awesome. And he spells it out. We don't have time for a bullshit here. We don't play any games. So if you're down, join. If you're not down, this isn't for you. It's not for you, man. And guys hear that and their eyes light up, and they're all about it. My brother is coming back. My brother moved to California. He moved home, and he saw this job the other day, and he called me on the phone. He's like, I'm back. That's it. I'm back. Just give me the SOP book. I'm back. I'm like, okay, cool. You're back. So he's going, but he's got to go through the process just like everybody else. Getting no special treatment from me.
Do you find yourself just incredibly excited more so
oh my God, I love
ever?
it. I love I always talk about, I was talking about with somebody the other day over beers. The intensity of the situation is wild. It's completely different. Like, if we get an activated fire alarm right now, I'm going to get in the fire chief's car. I'm going to start going. If the alarm is past the firehouse, going north of the firehouse, I always pass up the firehouse first to go up the hill. I look, the intensity is unbelievable. People are sprinting for an activated fire alarm.
I love it.
And they're not unsafe. They don't drive the rig like maniacs, but I will get to the alarm, whatever it may be, corner of Williams and the Boulevard, let's say, your closest hydrant is just south of the building. I don't have to say anything else. They're grabbing up on a hydrant. They're getting ready to stretch. There is no special instructions anymore. Where I listen to the radio, there's other towns, and they'll say, give me a team of 4 with a tech and tools. Like, dude, what? You're in a fire department. You should be, I don't understand. What else are you going to do? So,
drives me nuts.
Yeah, we're coming with a driver in 3. Like, dude, what are you doing? Just go. Just go do your job. So now, if you just train the guys on every run to just do the same thing, when you get something really bad at 5 o'clock in the morning, they're just going to do the same thing. And fire's going to go out.
That's it. I mean, you're creating an environment that fosters firefighting, right? We want firefighters.
That's it.
And whatever that takes, double down on them, give them the tools, and let them run. I couldn't agree with you more. But, Mike, that comes from a place of confidence in your world, though, too.
Right.
We got a lot of shitty chiefs and shitty leaders out there that don't let their people work because they're intimidated by it, because they're intimidated can't pull their own weight.
Yep, absolutely. So, like, I tell the guys all the time, I'm not going to tell you to do something that I can't do myself. I'm not going to train you in something that I haven't done myself. And they know it. They know for a fact if I tell them, get the roof open, get the ceiling down on the second floor,
the job can be done.
They know if they can't get it done, I can walk in and go do it. Whereas I've worked for chiefs in the past in Heights where they're a little bit older. They weren't really, I'm young enough, again, that elder millennial saying, I'm young enough that I can still do it. And when I get out as chief, I look forward going back to being a fireman with these guys, because now they're like, it's like the military up there. I can't wait. It's going to be great.
That's fun. Your upbringing in the firehouse, we talked about your father and the impact there, and all your memories from growing up and just, all of that influence. But that also led you down the career route also.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
and you got 14 years as a career firefighter in the city of Hackensack, which is only literally share a border with, right?
Yeah, we're bordering city. It's I'm into working 3 minutes, when I'm in a hurry,
And Hackensack's one of those cities that is being revitalized, right?
Yeah. They're trying to build it up, and they're doing a really good job. It's a completely different city that I worked in when I got on the job. There's a guy who just retired, huge mentor of mine. He hates when I say his name on these type of things. He's a very modest guy, but he called it Sample City because you have a sample of every type of building construction in the whole world. I mean, literally everything. Row frames, commercial, any type of commercial building, churches, high rise, regular frames, brace frames, lightweight wood frame, hybrid, every building construction that you can think of is on top of one another in the city of Hackensack. And there's just people everywhere. And there's freight trains coming through, there's commuter trains coming through. Yeah. It's nuts. Then we have the hospital, which is its own city of itself. And it's busy, man. We're going, we are running around like maniacs, going to fires. We go to the ladder company is going to 10 different municipalities, mutual aid automatic. So there's always something. If you're on a ladder company there, you're pretty busy, running around.
Which you are, Mike, right? You're on ladder one?
I'm on ladder one there, yeah. It's best job in the world.
A lot of people listening probably recognize the name Hackensack because there's a historical fire there, the Hackensack Ford fire that occurred, where five brothers were lost. And I know after that fire in the 80s, it was, there were a lot of corrections made to not just Hackensack, but to the fire service in general. It was a pivotal fire that took place. So for you, I know you guys do your ceremony every July in recognition of that, but there's something there. You guys are rooted in the American Fire Service, as a name. Yeah. And you must carry that with you too, though. I'm sure.
A lot of changes that I do in the Volley House come out of that fire in Hackensack, because I was, what my biggest mentor, his name is John. I'm going to say it. I don't care, John. He was at that fire. He operated at that fire and took the brunt of, that fire. And he told me every single detail about that job. So it's funny because changes were made throughout the American Fire Service from that fire. And little by little by little, the changes kind of got forgotten a little bit. Not with Hackensack. The shit is strict over there. But little by little, they due to technology and different things. So so I'll use Hasbrouck Heights as an example. One of the biggest takeaways from that fire was obviously the building construction, but the radio issues that were happening. Having a channel 1 and having a fireground channel, never the two shall meet. Several years ago in Hasbrouck Heights, we got a repeater system, technology advanced, and we went to one repeated channel, and one dispatch channel. So what was going on was, okay, we got dispatched over 154, 160. Anybody listening to this knows exactly what I'm talking about. They put out reported fire. The repeater channel, engine 2 to, or at the time, 616, whatever, start water. and I'll have Woodridge or another mutual aid company coming in, and they're cutting me off on the radio.
Right.
So thank God it's not a Mayday. We have a member, Ryan Shute. He's very good at radios. And we were talking about it. He's like, dude, this is crazy. I said, yeah, I know it's crazy. Let's fix it. And he fixed it. We got brand new portable radios, Fireground, Channel 1. And the older guys, it was kind of a learning curve. The younger guys, it was very simple. Hey, bro, portable radio, Channel 16, rig radios on repeater. That's it. So it started out as, oh, we'll do it for first alarm assignments only. I said, no, we're going to do it on every single run. So, and we never have a problem. Never. And that's the way we do it in Hackensack, and we never have a problem. There's certain little things that you got to pay attention to, because I've been taught over the internet. Everything that I'm telling you right now, someone else taught me. I didn't come up with the shit.
Sure.
So you get like 5 or 6 little things wrong on a fire. It equates to one major problem. It's every line of duty death that you see. There was a line of duty death recently. And that night when I was at work, I immediately took action and did a policy change. From my job, I did a policy change. I said, starting tomorrow, we're doing this, and we're carrying this. That's it. And that's how you got to be. If guys got killed, you better know why, what happened. And I say it all the time, especially if they're from where you are. Like South Bergen County, Rutherford, January 4th, 1994, fatal fire. Fireman got killed. You better know what happened, especially if it's right here. You could go ask somebody. You could go ask Paul Dansback, hey, Paul, what happened? He'll tell you what happened. It'd be real stupid to make the same mistake again.
He talks about it on every anniversary.
Yeah.
He posts something about it.
Yeah.
And that's how I learned about it, to be honest.
Yeah. Paul's a wealth of knowledge.
Important. Oh, he's
wealth
incredible. I've been trying to get together with him forever, but he's incredible, and he's got amazing kids that are coming right up in his footsteps, you know?
Christian and
For
Will.
sure.
Yeah.
So talk to me a little bit more then. So, I mean, obviously everything revolves around the firehouse for you. I mean, I know how important your family is, and in fact, you have a newborn at home, and so on, a growing family, a wonderful wife, beautiful kids, and all of that. I know how important they are to you, but the fire service has really taken hold with you.
Yeah,
and
it always has.
There's
no change. No change. And, my wife will tell you, she's like, yeah, this is who I met, and it's just the same way. Like.
You told a story. I'll never forget it. We were wrapping up. I think it was in Wildwood or somewhere after the conference there, the convention, and we were sitting around doing a beer in the parking lot after everything, and a bunch of us are there, and Terry's there, my wife's, and I think your wife was there, because you told this story about you were in a suit going out to pick up a cake or something for a birthday party.
No, it was my daughter's. My daughter was being baptized, dude. It was my daughter's baptism.
Terry still talks about. I told her I was coming on today with you.
I swear to God.
I said you were going to be on, and she just busted out laughing.
It was my daughter's baptism, but the baptism was beautiful. But you know what? But before the baptism, it was great. I was in a suit and tie. Then report of fire came in. Guess what? I'm going. Report of fire. I don't give a shit what the fuck's going on. So, get in the rig. We get down there. I'm on the ladder truck. It was a peaked roof that went to a flat. Fire was in the attic, and it was extending downward, believe it or not, into the flat roof section. So I said, "Oh, this is a beautiful time." And it's about 100 degrees outside, and I'm in a suit. So we're gonna cut this roof off of this house. It's happening. So chefs, wow, and the guys are working. I was like capped at the time, a lieutenant or some shit. And we are removing the roof off this house, and it's just smoke. It's shitty, and it's 100 degrees outside. So every 5 minutes, I'm on a fireground channel, and I'm ladder 1 to command. Go ahead. What time is it? All right, it's 11:30. Okay, in 10 minutes, Chief, you got to tell me in 10 minutes. You got to tell me, bro. All right, and we're running the saws. Half of the saws were dying on the roof. We cut this roof off of this house, and it was 100% necessary. And then finally, command to ladder 1. It's 12 noon. All right, I got to get off the roof. I got off the roof. Radio car, a police car gave me a ride back to the firehouse. I got in my personal car, flew to my house. Now I'm messed up and stink like soot or whatever. It was time to go to church. Went to the church. It was great. There's a picture on Instagram, and my whole face is beet red from carbon monoxide poisoning, holding my newborn baby. And it was great. It was a wonderful day. It happens. It was great.
Oh, my God. My wife, Terry, was hysterical. She's like, if you ever do that to me, she's like, I'll kill you.
Dude,
if I have the opportunity, I will.
My wife is a saint. She has, that's the least of it, dude. She's
Yeah.
I left her in church one time to go to a good job. New Year's Eve, we had a really good job. We were in church together, and I heard the page. I always keep the pager on vibrate, but really low, and I'm hearing it come through. I gotta go. I left her in the church, took my car, went to the fire, rocking 3 floors of fire. It was completely worth it. She walked to the fire, and she's just like that. And she, dude, she's a trooper, man. I love her to death because she deals with the shit, and because she's got my back. She really does.
So many of them do, right?
Yeah.
It's this thing that we just can't control. I mean, we literally can't. I'm very much the same way.
No, dude, I like going to fires now more than I ever did. And there was some guy back in the day, man. He said to me, kid, you'll be doing this for 5 years or so, and you're gonna get tired of it and getting up in the middle of the night. You know what? No, I'm 21 years in. I want to go to fires now more than ever. This job, if you don't love going to fires, get out. Get out. Get out. You should love every facet of this job. I love taking the rig. I love taking the rig to go put fucking fuel in it. This is what you should love it.
I agree.
If you don't love it, get out, bro. Get out. Why are you here? And you got to ask some people. You got to ask, why are you here, bro? What are you doing?
Well, that's it. I mean, some people lose it. Some people never had it.
Well, yeah. Yeah. And you know what's beautiful to watch is people that never had it that grow into it. And I've seen I have a lot of guys like that. They didn't know anything about the fire department. They come in and they're like, oh, wow, this is what's up. Yeah, this is what's up. And they that love that they grow, and for the fire service, and they knew nothing about it. And I'm like, this is
some
awesome.
of my favorite people are people that had no upbringing in the fire service at all and found it later in life in their 20s or 30s, and they go all in on it.
Yeah, man, it's great. Lucky for me, I decided when I was 13 years old, 12 years old, that this is 100% what I am going to do with the rest of my life. 100%. I went to a fire with my father, came in as activated fire alarm. And I knew that at that fire, I said, this is it. I don't care about school. I don't care about anything. I had my Jones and Bartlett Fire One book in senior year of high school and just reading the book over and over and over again. I don't care about your history class. And listen, was that the right decision? Probably not. But that's what I wanted to do. And guess what? I'm working on Job City Hackensack 14 years, so I don't really care. So I didn't excel in academics. I didn't care about sports. I didn't care about any of it. I cared about going to fires. I got on junior fire department at 16 years old, and that was it. That's
never look back.
Never look back, man. I don't regret. Yeah. I don't regret it. I don't regret it at all.
No, and in fact, it's that's what I love about you, and that's kind of how I started this conversation. Is you are unapologetic and fiercely loyal to this job, and it's given. I think it's given you so much. I know how much it's given me. But I know how much it gives you. For sure.
Dude, I love it. A lot of it's my memories, man, of back in the day. A lot of it's that. I talk about the ShopRite fire all the time. It's on YouTube. It wasn't really ShopRite. It was a liquor store and an exposure. But
that was on 17, right?
Route 17, yeah. Route 17 in Williams that shit came in as an activated fire alarm. Activated fire alarm and typical address. And I was at my grandparents' house with my father. My father had the Chevy Suburban, red Chevy Suburban, brand new at the time with a GE Power siren installed. And he goes, "You want to take a ride?" "Yeah, let's go take a ride." "All right, let's go." Cool, man. GE siren going, slow ride, activated fire alarm. We pull into the complex, don't see anything into the complex. He ducks left. I look, this place is getting it. The windows are blowing out. Machine is starting to melt in front. Mac machine, remember? It's starting to melt in front of the store. I feel the heat coming through the Chiefs car. I'm like, this is wild, and I can't wait to see what's going to happen next. So here comes the engine. They come down the highway. They spin around, come the wrong way up the highway, grab up on a hydrant, lay in, swing the deck gun around, and they open the deck gun and literally knock this fire down in about a minute. And that was it. And they mopped it up with 2 lines. And that was it. And I'm like, holy shit. At that point, I'm like, this is what I'm doing. That's it. And from that point on, I was hooked. Like, really, I was always hooked. But from that point on, I'm like, this is it.
Those guys were giants to me.
Yeah.
They were giants.
They're nuts. They pulled up, and it was this 1977 Seagrave, lime green. I remember it like it was yesterday. I remember the sound that rig used to make when they would boost it up. Oh, yeah. And it was wild, and they put it out, and it was like no big deal either. They put it out, and they're like, yeah, whatever, putting the hose away. I'm like, and I'm looking at them like, holy shit. Yeah, it's cool.
And that's why I think now more than ever, though, is like we need to be conscious of that, because like what those guys did for you, how they took care of business.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah.
They are directly responsible for making you who you are today.
Yeah.
And listen, bro, you're that guy. 21 years in the fire service now. You got kids coming up behind, your own kids.
Yeah.
But you're also raising 19 and 20-year-old kids in your firehouse. You are a big part of their foundation in the fire service.
What's odd about that, so I was talking about that with my father the other day. What's odd about it is I still feel like the 18, 19-year-old kid.
I'm right there with you, man.
And I'm like, at work, guys look at me as a kid because I'm a lot younger than the guys at work. So I feel it at work. So I feel it when I come home, but I look at myself. I'm like, oh no, this kid is actually 20 years younger than me.
Yeah.
But I want to go to fires just as much as he does, so we're good with that. But, it's a whirlwind, man. And when you have that passion for the fires, when you have that there's a few like tactical things that I have trouble with. Yeah, I want to get into that a little bit. The radio being one of them. They tell you, stay calm on the radio. Stay calm on the radio. I listen to the radio all over the country. I really do. I'm a buff in all aspects. You talk whatever you want to talk about. Helmets, radio etiquette, what signals they use. You name the shit, we'll talk about it, okay? There's certain bosses out there that they talk like an airline, like a pilot on an airline. We're going to middle of the road, the second alarm, one line check. No. Get on a radio and say what you want and mean what you say. And it gets the guys, oh shit, something's going on. Everybody wake up, have a cup of coffee and wake the fuck up because we're going to work. I'm tired of the airline pilot talk. And that's how I talk on the radio, a very specific way. And when it's not a fire, extremely calm because it's not a fire. But these guys know when I want them to step it up. And I said it, step it up. Absolutely. I don't care.
All right, here.
Anybody monitoring? I got a gasoline tanker with a building fully involved. Airline found too. Anybody monitoring on my work at fire assignment, throw it out, okay?
Yeah. Yeah, man.
I love it.
And you know what happened? Everybody came. No problem. No problem.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So these are a couple clips from a recent fire you guys had. You would have, as you just explained it on arrival, right? Just paint the picture because I want to talk about it a little bit.
So it's 5 o'clock. Well, I have a newborn, right? So the baby wakes up all sorts of hours of the night. So I thought it was like 2 o'clock in the morning. So the pager went off. I wasn't sure if the baby was crying or the pager. So my wife, we have a system. She knows when I'm going. So it came in as truck fire. So I get up, truck fire. Bobby Ecker makes fun of me all the time because I love going to car fires. I like going to any kind of fire. I don't give a shit what it is. So
I'm with you.
So comes in that truck fire. She knows I'm going. We're able to disarm the alarm system from the phones. So the procedure at my house is when I get up, she disarms the alarm system so I don't set the alarm system off and wake everybody up. Right. I go out. She locks the door from the phone. I get into the chief's car and I'm gone. I get outside. The smoke is in the street of my house. And I'm like, wait a minute, what? Now but I'm like still asleep, dude. Like I'm in my, in my dad pajama pants with slides on and this t-shirt. And I'm like, there's smoke. Wait a minute. Is there a house fire? Like, because I'm still sleeping. And then I look up and I see a column. I'm like, oh shit. So I got in the car. As soon as the ignition went on in the car, immediately signaled 1030 to box 101 from Woodridge immediately because I could just tell what's going on. You got to.
All right, I got the column coming into my house. So thing is that give me a signal 1030 right off the bat, 101 from Woodridge, okay?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, man. So
that's
like
amazing.
So like if you like, and I tell the guy, and anybody listening to this shit, dude, call him. You could cancel him. Who cares, bro? I'd rather call him and not need him than get down there. And then I waited way too long, and now I have something completely out of control. And that thing came in as a truck fire. So I turned the corner. Everyone has seen the pictures. It looked like the world was on fire. What was really cool about it was when I got there, the heat came through the Chief's car, melted the mirror on the Chief's car. So we eBayed the mirror and we fixed it. So set up the command post. I see there's a tanker on fire, which is obvious. I updated it. And then I look to the right of the tank. You can't really see because there's a ball of fire. I look to the right. There's about, I would say, 75 by 250 one-story ordinary fully involved. Oh wow, cool. There's like a building back there that's on fire. I couldn't even see that. So then I updated. I said, engine 2, I got a building fully involved on top of this shit. So grab up on a hydrant and swing the deck on around 200 psi. And yeah, I said that 200 psi. My guys are trained. I don't care. If we're putting a deck gun into service, a deck gun is going. We're going to be on a hydrant. Our hydrants in Hasbrouck Heights are giving us unbelievable volume and unbelievable pressure here. We're getting 120 right off the get, no problem.
Really?
That's no problem. So the thing gets revved up to 200 psi. I'm not looking to put fires out. I'm looking to murder the fire and destruct everything in its path. And that's what the deck gun is going to do at 200 psi. The fire went out. I would say 90% of that fire went out by that single engine deck gun. Now, we had 2 ladder pipes in service. 3 ladder pipes in service, a tower ladder. We had all sorts of stuff going on. 2 multi-versatiles, multiple 2.5 stretch. We had all sorts of shit going on. That deck gun did 80% of the fire. The chauffeur, that was his first fire driving. The deck gun guy, that was his first fire ever. So this crew that pulled up, extremely green. 18-year-old kid on the deck gun. The guy driving, 20 or 21 years old, the guy driving. First fire driving a rig. Imagine your first fire driving a rig. You're getting ordered. Give me a deck gun. Give me the deck gun on arrival at 200 psi. The whole world on fire.
At least he told me what to pump it at.
Yeah. And I got the kid on the deck gun looking back, and he's got a smile. I'm like, holy Christ, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it worked out good. A lad, put the ladder.
So your father's chief puts a deck gun in service to the shop, right? Your chief, you put a deck gun in service to a commercial building and a tanker on fire.
Let's go. It's going down.
Multiple vehicles.
Everything.
I woke up that morning. I came downstairs. I put the news on at like 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And I see they're like, oh, Route 17's closed in Hasbrouck Heights. And to paint a picture for people, because people listen to this podcast all over the country, all over the world. Yep. Route 17 is a 4-lane, or down by you, it's, I guess, 6-lane highway. But it is commercial and industrial on top of each other. And in some areas, 10 feet setbacks. Like, it's
ridiculous.
Overpopulated. Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
So to have a rolled over gasoline tanker, I'm surprised you didn't lose more than one building.
I couldn't believe. Well, we were going to lose the exposure, which there's a self-storage warehouse. I would say 5 stories, 6 stories high. So the kid on the deck gun was like a surgeon. He was. He's like, bah, onto the gasoline tanker, into the 1-story ordinary, and then he would just swing it to the left, grab up the exposure building. The exposure building, the signs melted off and everything. Then you look to the right of the ordinary, they had a big sign that advertised for them. The sign's on fire. There's 26 cars on fire. So he's just operating like over here, down into the cars a little bit, tanker, back into the building. Let's get the sign a little bit, come back. I'm watching this go down. I'm like, and then I got these 2 radios, right? And I am so jealous of this kid. I'm mad at this kid. I'm like, you come over here and deal with the stupid radio. I'm a secretary with a Chevy Tahoe, for Christ's sake. I want to go on a
seat in the house. He's on top of the rig. It doesn't get any better.
I couldn't believe what I was watching. I'm like, I'm like, this is So we had our we have a dinner every year. So we call it installation dinner. It's a party. Right. So everybody. I was on Channel 7 News with the whole thing and all of that bullshit. I made the kid stand up on the chair at the installation dinner. I said, everybody's talking about me. That 18-year-old kid over there, Daniel Wixon, that kid, he put the fire out. Stand up. And everybody give him a round of applause. And that kid's going to remember that the rest of his life. Guaranteed.
Promoting your people.
Yeah, man. Dude, I drove down there in a Chevy Tahoe. Who the fuck needs me? The fire engine and the kid on the deck gun, that's who's important. Not me. I just call for help.
Yeah, a lot of people lose track of that.
Yeah.
So let's do this real quick while I got you. Yeah. So we're going to bring this up here. Let's see. We'll start here, and we'll share this screen real quick. This is another goodie that you're involved with here. So let's see if this comes up the way I want it to. Hang on. I don't know why it's not sharing. Share screen. Hasbrouck Heights share. Here we go. Hold on. Oh, of course, it's not going to play for me now. Are you kidding me? Hang on 1 second here. This is weren't able to get on. Hang on.
Oh, something's working.
Sorry, Mike.
Something's working.
And everybody listening, this is well. I wanna bring this up.
Oh
this
yeah,
is important,
this happened too.
And,
this happened too, man. This happened
too. I know.
I can't catch up. Can I catch a break, man? I can't get it. I can't get it.
So
I can't. Yeah. It's always something, bro. Jesus.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a delay here.
Flagged down by a mother whose daughter was in grave danger.
Let's go.
Fire chief from Hasbrouck Heights in Bergen County was flagged down by a mother whose daughter was in grave danger. Now, rather than wait for an ambulance to come, the chief told the mom, "Follow me," and they raced to the hospital. Today, that girl who was saved and her family reunited with first responders, including that fast-thinking
I'm watching the news a month or two ago.
Will you be fire chief?
Here you are, and I go, "Are you
This
kidding me,
adorable
this guy?"
little girl got a chance to meet her heroes. 2 firefighters who saved her life after she had a seizure in the car while her mother was driving on the highway trying to call 911.
I was yelling, "Help, I need help, I need help." But I was on a highway. She said, "Well, we're trying to get someone out to you."
Look at you. All
And then I looked
dressed
to my
up.
left, and he was there.
The Hasbrouck Heights fire chief and fire official were on the turnpike and next to Vanessa's car, realizing something bad was happening, and pulled over to the side of the road.
We've never seen somebody take a child out of a car seat in less than 10 seconds.
I got three kids that are screaming
It was
out.
crazy.
Anyway, I'm stopping the video.
Yeah,
I love it. But I'm telling you, man, like it's so funny. It's like I turn on the news time and time again, and there you are. You're there again. And it just cracks me up. But I want to ask you, right? Because I was doing some Googling earlier, right, before we got on. And I was just like, man, there's article after article. Here's another one. Here's Mike Greco at a garden apartment fire with gunshots being fired out of the building, man, from an oven fire, right?
That was a fire engineering article I did over that, man. Yeah. It's always something, bro. I just want to go to regular dwelling. Why we have to do all of this extra activity?
But I want to ask you, have you always been the guy that it just follows you? Finds you?
Oh, shit, Magnet, absolutely. Even when I worked EMS, with Dave Alvarez. You remember Dave Alvarez?
Yeah,
he was on
Walwood
family. I worked EMS with him in Jersey City, so it was unbelievable. EMS, fire department, whatever. Any weird, stupid shit that could happen, I've been there. 2005, we had a jet plane crash through a building across Route 46, February of 2005. I was first a Strawberry building. I was first due to that. Yeah, man. I mean, in Hackensack as well. I've been lucky enough to catch all these weird things, and it gives you more experience, And the friend of mine, Mike Thomas, he's on Hackensack. He was also on Hasbrouck Heights. He was the same way. We would just catch these weird jobs together, and stuff that we didn't think that was a fire that turned out to be a fire. All sorts of stuff. So it was.
You know what I love what you just said, Mike, which I love? It says, you just said it gives us more experience.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's what our guys want, right? Yeah. They want opportunities to have experiences.
Yes.
And it goes back to the conversation we had that you're creating a culture and environment that allows them to be firemen.
Yes.
And when you allow them to be firemen, they start to have true experience.
Right. So now you have, Rick Lasky, right? Pride and ownership.
Yeah.
You want to see pride and ownership. Let these guys do what they want to do. Let them do it.
Yes.
Another senior fireman told me, bro, firemen are a bunch of sled dogs, bro. They just want to run. Let them go. Let them pull the fucking sled. Just let them go. And you know what? That's the truth. Because when they roll up to a car fire and they suction a hydrant, right? I look at them. Yeah, bro, do it. Get it done. Yeah, that looks cool, man. Because tonight at 3 o'clock in the morning, you're gonna suction a hydrant just as good, guaranteed. Because you just did it just now. And they take pride in the shit. They pack the hose a certain way. The rig is set up a certain way. They come to me, hey, Chief, can we start packing the hose? We're going to do double donut for the horseshoes, just like that. Hey, bro, I don't care how you pack the hose, bro. Whatever you want. And they look at me like, really? Bro, I don't care. Whatever you guys want to do. You want to put, however you want to set up the irons, whatever you want to do it. Whatever's going to lead you to success, whatever's going to help you get the portable ladders up, the aerial ladder up, whatever you need to do it. You have my blessing.
This is why it's so important to say yes.
Yeah. You say no.
we're so conditioned to say no.
It was a no culture for me. It was a no culture for years. We had 2-inch hose with TFT fog nozzles. Remember that bullshit? It was one. It was this long.
Nozzle was 18.
It was
I
this
still
long.
think we have one or two of them left. Yeah, absolutely.
So at the time, I was a 160-pound kid full of piss and vinegar with a 2-inch line flowing 220 gallons per minute out of a TFT fog nozzle, right? The thing would howl. It would howl, dude. It would mop the floor of me. It was like operating a 2.5, overpressurized 2.5. But I tell you what, bro, you put fires out with that bitch. But you had to know, you had to know how to handle it. So I got in as chief. Guys came to listen. First of all, it all failed testing. That was number one.
Yeah.
We want to make the switch to inch and 3/4. You guys want to go to inch and 3/4? No problem. Let's go to inch and 3/4. Yeah, let's do it. All inch 3/4. And you want to know what? These younger guys that were because I was 160 pounds at one time, if you can believe it. Guess what? There's a 160-pound fireman now.
Yeah.
Let's give them the tool for success. Here's inch and 3/4 line. Just because there's another sentence somebody told me. Just because you were the abused child doesn't mean that you need to continue to abuse your children. Okay? So just because I had to deal with 2-inch, which is the most miserable handline in the whole world, doesn't mean that I'm going to tell you I dealt with 2-inch back in the day. No, it's stupid then. It's stupid now. Inch and 3/4 it is. No problem. What color do you want it in? Well, we really want it in white. That's what, it looks cooler when it gets dirty. No problem. Let me order it in white. How much do we need? Well, we need, what do you want to do? 600-foot tenement load? 650? No problem. Just say yes, bro. What's the worst that could happen? Fire hose. They want to stretch it. I'm not stretching it. It's not me. And it breaks my heart that it's not me. I hate that it's not me. But guess what? The guys who are, give them the tools, let them do what they want to do. And the fire is going to go out a lot better. When you micromanage as the chief, the shit ain't going to work out, I promise. Promise.
I'm just sitting back listening, man. This is so good.
You got to be.
This is so good.
If you're going to be a volley chief, you got to be a fireman. And I think what helps me is I'm an aggressive fireman where I work. So when I just got off my tour this morning, I'm still in a fireman mindset because I'm from work. So I come home from work and I get in the fire chief's car. I'm still operating like I'm a fireman, but I'm in the car. A lot of guys become chief and they're in that chief cycle for so long that they forget they forget about what's going on the inside.
100%.
They forget
100%.
it. And then you'll be on the inside trying to tell them whatever the case may be, and they disagree with you. But I have an advantage of being able to go to work and go to fires at work as a regular fireman. And I think that's what helps me on the volley side being the chief. And I hate being the chief. Let me tell you something. These guys have so much fun. These guys have a great time. And I am a glorified secretary in a Chevy Tahoe, and it makes me nuts. It makes me nuts. And for all you chiefs listening to this, I think you're important. You're not important. Your wives can do the job. My wife has an SUV. She could absolutely drive the Chevy Tahoe and talk on a fucking radio. And if I just tell her what to say, she can say it. The guys are the ones that are important. They're putting the fire out. Those are the guys you need to invest your time, energy, money, budgetary concerns, everything. Put it into the guys. They don't need you, bro. You don't have to show up in the chief's car. They don't need you. They need the first due engine. They absolutely need the first due engine with a bunch of guys on it that are down to go to a fire, too. That's the other thing. So, Eckerd Fire Tactics, we'll get into that. A bunch of my Heights guys have taken classes on their own time, their own dime, everything. Eckerd Fire Tactics, bro. Bobby develops a training that is real life training. It's actual structure fires. It's legit. I run through it's training for me, and I'm one of the instructors. And that's important too. The guys, I want my guys to get live fire training as much as possible, especially that kind where it's challenging. There's certain academies, and I'm not going to mention who they are or where they are, but there's certain academies where it's cookie cutter. It's not a Class A burn, and even if it is a Class A burn, it's very regulated and stuff like that, and there's a lot of rules and this and that, and we follow all the rules with NFPA 1403, all that stuff with Bobby, but it's different. It's different. They're not teaching VES under live fire conditions. They're not teaching search under live fire conditions. They're not teaching can confidence under live fire conditions. They're not opening a roof with live fire conditions. They're not doing it. They're doing it, but not with the same intensity and with the same instruction as what we're doing. And we're teaching these guys. You know, me and Bobby have been out to California. We go all over the country teaching guys. And we tell everybody, we're not going to teach you something that we haven't done in real life already. That's number one. We're going to teach you your operational reality. So every firehouse that I go to, it doesn't matter where it is, I Google the firehouse. I always Google the firehouse. Where am I going? Because I have the advantage. I'm a volunteer fire chief, a volunteer fireman, and I'm a paid guy in the city too. So we'll all figure this the fuck out. Go Google it. It'll pop up. It's a simple volunteer firehouse, 2 engines truck, and a rescue, similar to my volley house. And I'll walk in.
Yep, you got it.
I walk in and I tell the guys, hey guys, when was your meeting night? I could call everybody out. Oh, who was pissed off about buildings and grounds? Who got mad about this? Who wants $50? I know their game because we're all the same people.
That's right.
I went out to California, the same people. There's like 5 different personalities. We're all the same. That's why they call us brothers. It's real shit. And that's why I love going out teaching. I get to meet guys from all over the place, man. And we're all having the same conversation. It's fucking crazy. It's absolutely wild. I love it. Love it.
How do you not? Like how, that's the thing that blows my mind.
I don't get it. I've met guys who don't like it. I'm not going to say which department, but I've met guys
I get it. But
I've met guys that are like, and I'm like, what?
But I wonder if they've never had the opportunity to be in this position.
They have.
You know, you're in a department that pushes the culture, pushes its people, and gives its people the tools and abilities to do what they want and lets them run.
Right.
Maybe some of these guys are being held.
I think
maybe they don't know any better.
They got held back, but I think the job is what you make of it. I really do. Because,
talk about that.
Because
I agree.
So the job is what you make of it, man. So if I go to work, right, when I go to work in Hackensack, we have common addresses that we go to activate fire alarms all the time. You know, we go to, you know, we have a box system there. You know, an old school game wall system.
Right.
So the box will come in, box 1-4, Hackensack University Medical Center. We all know where we're going, and you go there once or twice a tour, right? I don't care. I'm going to a fire, okay? Now somebody else, I don't know where they work, what a company they're on. Maybe they don't. Going there again. No, bro, I'm going to a fire, right? So then, when you have that mindset, you have more of a positive attitude about the job. You like getting on the rig and going. You enjoy it. And that positive outlook on it just makes the job better for you. You're gonna want to be a part of more things. You're gonna want to get involved in teaching, and you find yourself involved with more shit. So there's an overtime tour. I'm taking it. A guy wants a mutual. I'm going to work. Volunteer firehouse has stuff going on. I'm going. You're getting yourself more chances to go to fires the more that you're involved. More chances to go to fires. And here's the other thing about the fire service. There's a lot of guys out there that are great firemen and they're very modest. They're very gentlemanlike. I'm not. I don't care. I don't care. You want to know why? A guy, oh, you're cocky, you're this and that. Yeah, you're fucking absolutely right. I treat this like it's the NFL, bro. This is the NFL. This is a full contact sport. And all of these firemen, when they're watching TV and NFL is screaming and yelling, we're the best. What's the difference, bro? It's a team sport. I am proud of where I come from. I'm proud to be a Hackensack fireman. I'm proud to be a Hasbrouck Heights fireman. I am proud. I love it. I love it. So there's a lot of guys out there, you know, and they're very quiet about what they do. And I respect that. I'm not quiet about what I do. If I see my guys do some crazy shit out in the streets, I'm all about it. It's getting posted on Instagram. It's getting posted on Facebook. I don't care. Guy, oh, you're all over social media. Yeah, you're fucking ain't right. You're posting about the Jets won last night. I don't care. We won last night. We won. We put out a tanker fire. We won. So that's the difference between me and other people. So, you know, people could call it cocky. Yeah, you know what? You're right. You're right. Because I put enough time and effort into it to be that way. You know, not a dangerous way, but you have to have that intensity and love for it. If you want the people around you to be like you got to be a step above and have that love and intensity for it. No, it's infectious. It's infectious. You have to, man. You know, and I pray to God that when I'm done being chief, that the kids around me, like, they don't let me get old. I want them to be like, yo, let's go. Like, I want them to push me. You know, I pray to God, you know. So
yeah,
that's my outlook on it, you know?
It's fun, man. There's so much there. I love the analogies, and I couldn't agree with you more. There's so much there. I fucking love you. I really do. This has been awesome.
Yeah, man.
I want to ask you too.
Yeah.
You know, we're talking about the culture, the fire department, and giving your people the tools. And you want to switch it into 3/4. You want white, like whatever it is.
Yeah.
I know apparatus is important to you.
Yes.
I know we chatted a while back and so on. And you have a new apparatus on order now.
Yeah.
You mentioned it before. You wanted to talk about it.
Yeah.
And I'm an apparatus guy, so I'd love to sit back a little bit.
Absolutely.
And hear where you're headed with that, because I think you made some changes and you kind of flipped the script a little bit. So I'm just curious how that all went down for you.
We made a major change, and I got to tell you that our fire commissioner and our mayor in Hasbrouck Heights, these guys support the fire department like you would not believe. And we didn't have that as much coming up. You know, we always had a, like, you know, beg, borrow, and steal almost.
Mm-hmm.
And coming up these last few years, the guys that have come in, you know, the mayor right now, the guy's name is Ron Kistner, fire commissioner Tom Miller, these two guys, they see the need. They get it, you know, and I try my best to explain. But when you're going to go, and I said this on another podcast, when you're going to go buy a fire truck or some shit, whatever you're going to buy, doesn't matter what it is, don't talk like a fireman. Layman's terms. I need a pumper for this reason. This is what it's got to be for this reason. Layman's terms to these people, and don't be a dick. Don't. You're not going to get anywhere. Don't. So,
agreed.
We ordered an engine. Now, the way I look at the fire service, now this is the volunteer fire service, okay? Paid fire service different. The one difference is there should be no more rescue companies in the volunteer fire service. Take the rigs and bring it to the junkyard. It's over. It's over. What the fuck are we doing pulling up? You don't know what's... perfect example, we get a carbon monoxide alarm. This is like year 2004. Get carbon monoxide run. We're going to... where were we going? We're going to Central Avenue, 200 block of Central Avenue for a carbon monoxide alarm. How I remember this, I don't know. We get there, it's a house fire. Back then, the SOP was to bring the rescue truck for the carbon monoxide alarm. So now I got 5 gallons of water with me. That's a good idea. No. Everything in the volunteer fire service needs to have water on it. I don't give a shit where you're from. I don't care. So we had our rescues in 1993 International with a 1994 Marion box. My father got it when he was chief. Awesome rig, badass rig. There's no water on it, bro. There's no water on it. You're useless to me. Put it in the parking lot. You're out. So we ordered a Pierce. We ordered a Pierce engine. We ordered a Pierce engine, and it's being called the Squad because it's a squad body. So we're able to get all the Hearst tools onto the engine. Now we have the hydraulic battery operated tools. Great product, by the way. We have them all on the rig. New York City style hose bed off the back, ultra low hose bed, 2 tenement loads off the front, no cross lays whatsoever, unnecessary piece of equipment. Front bumper lines, two 200-foot front bumper lines, 1,050 a 5-inch. We might add to that a little bit more though. 1,000-gallon booster tank. Now this is the part that everybody's like, "What are you talking about?" 1,000-gallon booster tank, and we are on our own. We take our own water, meaning we front suction hydrant 99% of the time. We cover Teterboro Airport, which everybody forgets about. Our job there is we're almost like a tanker shuttle when they get a plane crash, and we've done it a bunch of. Right. We train with them twice a year, and we've done it a bunch of times. So we'll roll in, we'll dump the booster tank into the ARF truck. That 1,000 gallons is gone in a minute. I mean, a minute flat. And then here comes the second due engine. They're going to dump their 1,000 gallons, and we're doing like a tanker shuttle, and we're waiting. We have an engine strike force that comes in through the Bergen County coordinators. Until they're coming in, we're cycling water. So we dealt with Pierce, and we ran it through. We're like, how can we get the rig cheap, you know, with exactly what we need? Let's just buy exactly what we need. We know we need a lot of water. We want a rear intake. We want a front suction. We don't need crosslays. We don't use crosslays anymore. Ever since that we put the inch 3/4 and the tenement loads off the rear, we're not using them anymore. That's it.
Right.
But we do use the bumper line for car fires. So we put 2 bumper lines in the front. The crosslays are removed. That area there's going to be a compartment that you open right above the pump panel, and that's where all the foam barrels are going to go. So if the chauffeur wants to grab foam really quick, switch over to foam, he can just pull it right out. It's right in front of him. It's not on the top dunnage area or some weird place. It's right in front of his face. and everything is going to be user friendly on that rig when it comes in. The rig is literally red and black. It's all red. There is no chrome. Chrome belongs on Harley Davidsons, not on fire trucks. The rims will be black. It'll have a black stripe down it. It's going to be beautiful. I can't wait till it comes in. It's probably 3 years out right now. We just ordered it.
Yeah.
Everything is 2 to 3 years out, but it's all good.
1,000-gallon water with an ultra low hose bed.
Yeah, man, they make it.
Well,
yeah,
you can get
they
it
make it
for sure.
If you look up Allendale, New Jersey's rig, that's a perfect example. That rig's 1,000-gallon booster tank, and you wouldn't know it by looking at it. But you look at
dual side ladders too. No high side
dual side ladders. That thing is ready to go, and they got a ton of tools on that rig. If you look through the compartments, rig's ready to go. So there's that one. There's Kentland 33. I think that's a 750 booster. There's Progress, Pennsylvania. A lot. Those rigs, they're fire duty rigs. So again, like I said before, we used to go to pins all the time. We don't go to pins anymore. These cars are built well now. We go to a pin like once a month now. We used to go to a pin once a week. We're going to more fires now. So why don't we buy a fire engine and we'll put the Hearst tools on the fire engine rather than buy a Hearst tool vehicle and put water cans on it. You see what I'm saying? It makes no sense.
No, I do.
The 90s,
I get it completely.
The 90s apparatus was a disaster. No, I really want you. Look, we're from Bergen County, right? Look from the top of northern Bergen County all the way down south, and you find a rig from the 90s. They're a disaster. Every single one of them. It makes me nuts.
Yeah. We're in a unique time, man. It's what's really fun for fire apparatus building right now, and I think it can all be put back to the internet and social media. Is we're building fire trucks.
Yeah,
we're building fire trucks. It has come back around from the 70s and early 80s where we were building fire apparatus. We're building fire apparatus again. We're getting away from the nonsense and the bells and whistles, and we're building trucks for work. And I think that's a cultural thing. And like you said, you listed a few departments that are known for work, and their trucks absolutely represent what they do.
Sure.
So why would you not refer to them when looking to build your own?
My thing is this is like, and Pierce is a good company because they'll do whatever you want to the rig. I mean, literally, you don't have to send it out for customize anything. So my thing is this, the guys want a rear suction for tactical use. If they pass up a hydrant, they want to line it to. Well, if I don't get a bell, and I don't get gold leaf, and I don't get all this shit that I don't need, AM, FM radio, or whatever, I would cut the air conditioning out if you let me, because we have the windows down all the time. You should have the windows down all the time.
Agreed.
So what's more important, all of that luxury items and light up federal siren and all that, or the rear suction? The firemen are telling me, bro, we want a rear suction. We want to be able to get water in the four sides of the engine. You know what? You said water and you said fire. I'm in. That's what you want? 10-4. We're going to buy it. I don't care. If you look at the luxury item list on our engine, it's barely anything. When you go into the town CFO, when you go through, you go line by line. Our CFO, his name is Dave. Great guy. He's very strict, but
most of them are.
But I got to tell you, but I like it because he gives me an education on how to purchase shit. So, we're going through line by line. What does this mean? What does 6 to 5 storts mean? What is this? What is that? What is it? And we go through it all. And then you find out. Now, I looked at a previous rig that we have. I'm not even going to say what it is. But we still have the pamphlet and spec sheet on that one. And you look through it on all the options. And it is absolutely the calendar vehicle. And it's got the David Clark headsets that we don't use anymore. We don't even know where they are. You have this, you have that, you have this, you have that. And you find out that like 40% of those options list, you don't even use them. You don't even use. So we built a fire engine to be just that, a fire engine with some Hearst tools on the thing. So we call it a squad. It's not a squad. There's somebody jumping at it. And that's the other thing, squad company terminology. Everybody, Bergen County, listen up. You're not a squad unless you're able to pull up and build a rake ashore on the spot, okay? If you don't even know what a rake ashore is, stop using the terminology, okay? It's a squad because of the body style of what we were purchasing. We purchased a squad body. As far as squad company, everybody's trained in that. So there's a thing with that. There's a problem with the nomenclature of the fire service. Kind of like
100%.
the 10 codes and the divisions and all of this other bullshit. Yeah, I could go on, bro. I could go on all night about the fire service.
Well, I know, and I could sit here all night and listen to you, and there's going to be part 2, part 3, part 12. I mean, it's just, bro, it's a fun conversation, and this is literally, Mike, an hour and 20 minutes ago when we started this. I said to you that you are fiercely loyal and protective of not just your people, but the fire service.
Sure.
It comes through in your delivery. I mean, how do you not? Listen, I can understand people being threatened and turned off by you. 100%,
oh, yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
There's guys out there, right? I have the same thing.
There's guys out there that hate my guts. And you want to know what?
Of course.
I love it. They're on there's a thing called New Jersey pre-alerts. You guys know who you are. They're on there. Oh, he called at 10:30 again. And the break drop. You know, hey, fellas, you don't want to know what? It's a shame that you don't go to fires, so because I can't make fun of you because you're doing nothing. So it's jealousy. Don't be jealous. Lift your brothers up. Be happy for them. When a neighboring department goes to a fire, I'm like, shit, let's go, bro. Good for you. You need a second lead out. Like, why did we forget where we come from, bro? Everybody, you know. And I'm gonna leave you with this, bro. And I bring this up in when I teach for Bobby Eckert. I bring up about brotherhood because it's a very serious thing to me. And guys have brotherhood wrong. It's all wrong. And I'm going to tell you why. Brotherhood, guys think about going to wet downs. You know, guys think about going to the bar, having parties, all of this shit, right? All these good times. I'm talking about the volley side, installation dinners, XYZ. We have all these fun events that we go to. Everybody's drinking. Yeah, hang out with the brothers, the brotherhood, Snapchat brothers, hashtag brothers. That ain't the brotherhood, bro. The brotherhood is when the guy is on his worst day. There's a guy going through a divorce. There's a guy with a drug addiction. There's a guy that wants to commit suicide. There's a guy that needs rent money. There's a kid that can't pay for his college school books. These are all shits that I've seen. Now, numerous guys that I've been best friends with dying of cancer. You know, that's what the brotherhood's about, bro. The guy dying of cancer, you go to his house, cut his lawn for him. You do things like that. I got extremely sick in 2021. I had pneumonia and COVID at the same time. And I ended up real sick, to say the least. The brothers from Hackensack, this happened December. I missed my daughter's first birthday, December 7th to be exact. Brothers from Hackensack, they came to my house. They went in my shed. They took the fucking Christmas lights out of my shed. They put up the stupid inflatable things that are a pain in the ass. They put them up. They put up all the Christmas lights. They did it all because I got little kids running around and they want to see the Christmas lights. It's Christmas time. And I came home, you know, and I was a mess when I got home. I had it, you know, I was on oxygen and all sorts of shit. And I look up and holy shit, all the Christmas lights are done. There was Christmas lights up in the house. There was food. There was money. I didn't have to worry about anything when I came home. That's the brotherhood, bro. Guys taking care of you, your family, all of that when you're going through a bad time. That's when you find out who the brothers are when bad shit's going down. Line of duty deaths, all this other stuff. That's when you find out. Anybody could come to the bar and have a beer and I'll buy the next round of shot and fuck that. That don't mean nothing. I promise you. I hope everybody hears that part because that's the biggest thing I ever learned on my own was that. That's the one thing that I learned on my own that nobody told me. I figured that one out for myself. You know, and it took me getting really sick to see that. Mike Maglio putting up inflatable. And he didn't tell me he was doing it. My wife got a hold of me. Mike Maglio's here. What's going on? Oh, he's putting up the Christmas decorations. Okay, cool. Oh, somebody's doing the snow. Okay, cool. Like, just, that's the way it goes. You know, that's what it's about.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
And I agree with you, Mike, 100%. Mm-hmm. I do this program, and in the program I was talking about you could be the saltiest guy in the world and blah, 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 and I go on and on. And I talk about legacy, but I go, but are you actually, you know, you can still be a piece of shit.
Oh, yeah.
Are you the guy that's there? Yeah. Are you the guy that's there when your buddy has a gun in his mouth or he's going through a divorce and gets jammed up with a DWI? Like, are you that guy?
You know, Bobby Eckert. That's what Bobby Eckert says this line all the time. There's nobody that hates firemen more than other firemen. Let me tell you something, bro. That is true. It's true, and it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. But even if I have an enemy out there, whoever it may be, they call me up. Hey, bro, I'm going through something really bad. Whatever it is, I'll be right there, bro. I'll be right there. I'll be right there. Hold on. And everyone around here knows that about me. Everybody also knows if you come for me or you come for my guys, you're going to find out. Don't do it. Don't do it. And everybody knows. They all know. Don't do it.
Fiercely
don't
loyal.
do it.
The way it should
Hackensack brother, my job, Hackensack brothers, doesn't matter who it is, Hasbrouck Heights brothers, Woodridge brothers over here, don't come for us. Don't do it. I don't play the game over here. I don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't take the fight out of firefighter. Don't do it.
You know, there's something to be able to have somebody or a group that will do the right thing all the time. Doing the right thing's always doing the right thing.
Absolutely. Just do the right thing. Just do your job and do the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're the chief of the fire department, you're like their dad. You're like their dad, literally. You gotta take care of your kids. You gotta scold your kids, or you gotta protect your kids too. You gotta lead them to success. Make sure that they have a good future. I got guys that I made sure that they took tests. One kid just became a Port Authority cop. Another kid just got on the job in Cherry Hill. That's what you want to see. And that's what it's all about.
Nothing makes me prouder when our guys leave the volunteer house and get hired somewhere and they go. And we put out guys all the time. We just had another kid leave 2 weeks ago for Fairfax County.
Nice. That's a good job.
They're all pursuing the job because I believe that the foundation that they learned from 16 and 18 years old set them up for the want and need to better themselves by making it a career.
110%. And then,
it's a fucking
I love it, especially when they get a career job and they're able to come back to the volley house. So I have a kid, Mark Pagan. He got on the job at Cherry Hill. Kid is aces before he got on the job, and that he comes back from Cherry Hill, whatever. Hey guys, listen, I'm going to run a drill about this. We just ran a job the other night. Dude, aces, perfect. Thank you. And that's the other thing, drilling. Let them drill. Let them go. Chief, can we take the rig out? Don't even ask me, bro. Don't even. What are you doing with the rig? You gonna go for ice cream? No. You go drill. Okay. If you want to take the rig out to drill, take the rig out at 4:00 in the morning. I don't care, bro. Go do it. Go do it. I don't even need no permission. No permission slip. Back in the day, we used to have to beg. I know. Beg.
I know.
No.
I'm gonna go top it off. Put fuel in it just to get
in the rig and put it in pump. Yeah.
20 minutes. Just to get in the rig and put it in pump. But you got to call and get permission.
No. That's company.
Can I take the?
No, that's company officer level bullshit. That don't even bother me with it. Go do it.
I love it.
Go do it.
Mike Greco, I appreciate you.
I appreciate you too.
Fucking awesome conversation.
I appreciate you too, man.
This is a lot of fun.
Yeah, absolutely, bro.
This is a lot of fun.
Absolutely.
But listen, you have an open invitation anytime you want to come back because I could literally sit here all day long with you, and maybe next time we do it in person with a couple calls.
Oh yeah, I love it. I love it.
And really go. But I just want to say this. I mentioned it a few times, and I'm going to say it again. And I want to end the podcast this way, Mike. It is refreshing to be able to talk with you, call you a friend, and know where you come from, and you're not apologetic about any of it. And it all has to do with protecting the integrity of your people and the fire service, man. And listen, I want to challenge people. Get half of that in you. Get half of it. Be excited about it. You know what? You're excited about football? Like Mike Greco says, be excited about the job.
Guys are standing up screaming about football. What, dude, really? Really? I can't wait. I pray to God that this motherfucker goes off for a fire. I pray to God. I pray to God. It's 5:20. It's 5:26 at night. I pray to God at 5:27. We're going out for a signal 10:30. I pray to God. Or I'm going back to work on a recall for a fire. Yep. One of the two. I pray to God.
Yeah.
And if you don't want to go to fires, bro, don't be in the fire service. I'm sorry. and we have to start saying it more often. That's it.
I agree with you. I agree. Mike, thanks, brother. I appreciate you joining me today, man. It's been a lot of fun.
My pleasure. Thank you for inviting me.
Listen, keep hustling and keep saying yes, because you are molding and shaping and helping these guys fall in love with the job every single time they turn.
Thanks a lot, man.
So
thank you.
Keep it up, man. Yeah. Hang right here. Don't go anywhere. I'm just going to sign off the podcast. I'll come right back, okay? Cool. Everyone, thanks for tuning in. Another episode of the National Fire Radio Podcast. Mike Greco, the departmental chief of the Hasbrouck Heights Fire Department, a career fireman in the city of Hackensack. Guys, this episode is fire. It's straight fire because it's real talk. Get away from the bullshit. Get away from the fluff and fall in love with this job. And I think that most of the people that listen to this podcast and pursue alternative means and want to make themselves better, you understand everything that was discussed here today, man. And that's what it's all about. So do me a favor, take this conversation, take it back to the firehouse and talk about it, because when we talk about the job, we're making the job better. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you at the next one. From Mike Greco, and I'm Jeremy, National Fire Radio.
National Fire Radio.